Hello everyone. Firstly, we would like to thank my lecturer for giving us the opportunity to be here today. Before we begin, allow me to introduce my partner. Her name is Nur Ali Inshira binti Jamil Aris. My dear fellow friends, I think everyone already knows that time is gold. Time cannot be controlled by anyone. Time is out of control, but time can be well managed. Time will continue to move even if we do nothing. Any missed moment will not be retrieved. So we need to manage our time well, so that every passing moment has its benefits to ourselves and every people around us. The man who does not appreciate and waste time, the man who loses. Do you know that many ways to how to manage time? Do you know? I will explain it. Well, today we are going to talk about the way to manage time. Dear friend, my first point how to manage our time is make to-do list. Make note or to-do list. Maybe some people feel this method is outdated, but this is the most basic and the most effective if you properly organize. Before you set a time, you need to know what you to do. For example, list tasks from the least important to the most important and urgent. To-do list not necessarily need to be strict, but rather make it dynamic, where you can rearrange according to priority. What is important with this to-do list if you need to do it? If you just put and you ignore, it is useless too. Therefore, it is the best you put to-do list that you can afford if to do if complete. If something is difficult and take a long time to complete, break it down into smaller parts and put in to-do list. I have just to discuss how to manage time in my first point. For the secondly is consider assignment to manage our time. Not all require the same amount of manpower and time. Therefore, you need to be a good and disturbing time which needs to be complete at an immediate rate and which needs to be complete next week. Do not procrastinate the work that needs to be complete next week. Instead, do a little by a little every day. In order to ease the burden of the future, prepare your initial daily assignment. Pay 100% and attention to your daily tasks and do not let yourself lose focus. If it's complete, then you can go to next assignment, regardless of the task that the next or next week. I have just to discuss how to consider assignment in my second point. My last point is avoid negative thinking. Thinking is possible, but think realistically. Thinking nonsense can interfere with the execution of the work you have planned. Individuals who like to daydream will still more without giving effective result. Dreams are not usually accompanied by rationality. Irrational things will lead one to an immersive fantasy world. This is a waste time. This name, you can pray but not daydream. Think of things that make sense and pray that you will be able to the problem task you have planned. I have just to discuss my last point, avoid negative thinking. Now, I call my partner Alia Inshira to continue with our presentation.
I would glad to. Thank you so much, Dunani Humaira. Dear friends, if you want to manage our time, firstly we need to updating the to-do list. This can be done in a way like frequently updating the to-do list, such as entering the things that need to be done and removing things that have already been implemented. This is done to determine the things that need to completed immediately. Each task also must be written along with the due date in order to perform the task list at the appointed time. We also can use technological assistance to create and update the task list more systematically. For example, by downloading the application from Play Store platforms such as Calendar, Notepad, and so on. Therefore, we need to constantly updating the to-do list so as not to be late to submit the assignment on time. Secondly, calm down. Easy to say, hard to done when we have many tasks that need to be done. every individual must have the nature of hard work within themselves. This is because we want to complete the given task at the allotted time. However, every individual must have the calm nature within themselves. Serenity will lead to peace. Peace will lead to the concentration in carrying out the task. Calm individuals will be able to think rationally and organize ideas better. The individual needs to avoid experiencing extreme stress. I believe that everyone is prone to stress when receiving many tasks at the same time. When we experience extreme stress, it will prevent us from concentrating and thinking well while carrying out the task. Immediately, it will push us to be aggressive and confused to complete the task. Is it clear that we need to learn how to be calm down to ensure that every task will be run smoothly? Last but not least, we need to determine the duration of each assignment. Each assignment is different and requires a different time frame to complete. Therefore, we need to determine the time frame for completing the assignment. We can do that by determine a specific time period and compete with that time to completing the task. Also can extend help us to control the time available to resolve certain things. We also need to avoid doing and completing the task at the last minute. This will cause us to be distracted and confused. This also will cause the completed task not to reach the level that we should be able to do well because it is done in a chaotic manner. We should avoid this stress because this stress will harm ourselves. Therefore, we need to wisely determine the time to complete the task provided so as not to waste time or do last minute work. My dear friends, today my partner Durrani Humaira has talked about the way to manage time, which is make to-do list, so that we can know and detect the most important work. Then she said that we need to consider the assignment by doing the assignment little but still pay attention at it. She also mentioned to avoid negative thinking that we need to wake up from daydream and focus on reality. Next, I have discussed about updating the to-do list so that we know what work we have done and what work we have not done. Moreover, I said calm down, which is we need to learn how to calm in every situation so that it will not distract us from something that we need to do. Last but not least, determine the duration of each assignment so that we know how to manage the frame time to complete the task and avoid to do the last minute work. Time will mature us. It will teach us a lot to appreciate time by using it better. The thing that have passed, let it go. We must move forward by fixing existing shortcomings to get better. Is it not too late to be changed as long as we determine to do so? We must also be disciplined and consistent in dividing the time so that the mistakes made in the past will not be repeated. The time available should be used wisely. Time will not chase us, but we will chase time. My dear friends, let me end our speech by quoting from J.R.R. Tolkien, who said, "All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us." With that, we end our presentation. Thank you. Once again, thank you for being such a wonderful audience and thank you for watching us. It has been a great honor and pleasure for us to be here today. Thank you so much. Bye.